Yo, what's going on guys? Rhys here from Stoic Pool, and this video is the Stake Pool update for Epoch 229. Let's get into it. Right guys, Epoch 229 there haven't really been any major changes for Stoic Pool. We're looking for more delegators, we're looking for our first block. If you're looking for somewhere to delegate, stick it in Stoic Pool for a couple of epochs, help us make some rewards. Basically help us make our first block. That'd be awesome. And we're basically marketing the pool, we're looking for delegators. I've been making loads of YouTube videos, I've been writing loads of articles and stuff. If you have any ADA lying around idle or sitting on an exchange or anything, get it in Yoroi, get it in Daedalus, delegate to Stoic Pool and help us mint a first block, okay? Yeah, that's really the main thing. There has been massive discussions in the Stake Pool operators community basically about this parameter called Nought. And what Nought basically does is it defines the minimum pledge for a stake pool. This is a big cause for debate because at the minute there's no minimum pledge for a stake pool. So once you pay your 500 ADA fee, which is not very much money, you can basically do what you like, have a stake pool. And what this does is it opens up the network to opportunity to for people to try and kind of take over, which has been happening. So there are groups of pools, or like one pool split into groups of numerous different pools. So like 11, 12, 15 different pools, all with the same name, with little to no pledge. So 0 to 100 to 1,000 pledge. And what happens is these groups of pools have ended up ranking quite high in Daedalus and in Yoroi, and this basically stops people from finding out about smaller stake pools, who are generally single pools operated by 1 or 2 or 3 people, or even a small group of people. That doesn't sound very dangerous, I completely understand, but what this does is it opens the network up to attacks. Because if someone has multiple pools that have really high delegation, they basically have a control a good part of the network. The whole point of Cardano is to have it decentralized. The whole point of the proof of stake and stake pool operators is to actually decentralize the network and spread it out to prevent any one entity from controlling the network. So people have been arguing, obviously, because anything like this is a cause for serious debate on Twitter. Yeah, so people are now that the K parameter is increasing, people are like, this Nought thing is the only solution, blah, 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 blah. I don't know if that's the solution. It makes sense because if you have like a minimum pledge for a pool, say 10,000 ADA or something, then that's gonna mean that for anyone to have multiple pools, they need to have like quite large quantities of ADA themselves to be able to create that, to make that operational. And yeah, so that's all right, as long as they don't make it too high and put me out, because I only have 25,000 ADA in my pool as the pledge. So as long as that's I don't care. I think it's actually a good thing. I think it would make the network a bit safer. It would force stake pool operators to take it seriously, and to, if they're going to have multiple pools, to kind of force them. Okay, and this is nothing against particular stake pool operators who might have like 2 or 3 or 5 pools, because I can understand why they're doing that because of the reduction in the saturation level. Yeah, so it's more about kind of bad actors in the network who are making 11, 10 or 20 pools with little to no pledge, which means all they're doing is setting up these pools and then taking rewards. And yeah, you could argue that that's costing them a bit of money, but just the amount of rewards that you'd get from that kind of that quantity of pools is a lot. That's kind of naughty, but then also it's not really against the rules, and that's the thing. Like, no one's really breaking the rules in doing this. It's just people trying to create a monopoly, basically, and kind of own a big part of the network, and that's risky for the network, as well as kind of intrusive for stake pool operators. So I understand why people are angry about it as well, because a part of me kind of is as well, even though I'm like, yeah, you know, you're right, you do you, you're cool. But if you're not putting any ADA forward, then really, like, anyone could just be doing that and taking lots of ADA from the network. And giving someone like such a large stake in the network is risky, because it means that they have a lot of voting power on what happens with the network as well. It opens up opportunities to create problems, and if there are opportunities like that for people to exploit them, then people will end up exploiting it. I've been spending loads of time on Marlow, getting a grip of smart contracts. There's a whole playlist on YouTube of videos about that, so go and check that out. And yeah, that's really about it, guys. That's the only real updates for Epoch 229. If you have any random ADA lying around, sitting idle on exchanges or anything, get it off, get it in Yoroi, get it in Daedalus, delegate to Stoic, and help us get our first block. Otherwise, guys, I'll catch up with you in a couple of days. Keep in touch with yourselves.